What's up, my friends? How you doing? How you doing? I've got Kool-Aid on my hand. I made some Kool-Aid and I spilt a bunch of it, right? So after I cleaned it all up, completely forgot about it. Then I went and I was washing my hands in the bathroom. Boop, 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 boop. And I looked down, and I don't know if I'm picking up on the camera, but see that red on my hand? I was like, oh my God, what happened to me? What is that, a rash? Did I get cut? And I'm staring at it for a bit before I went, oh, that's just Kool-Aid and I'm an idiot. All right, so let me share the live stream link first, and then we'll do our hellos and we will talk our nonsense. All right, there we go. The link has been shared. I've got my Kool-Aid right here. Something going on with the ice cubes where no matter how I rotate the cup to try and escape them, they just they follow my mouth. It's like the ice cubes want to kiss me. It's so annoying. I'm Kool-Aid cursed today, all right? So, let's do our hellos. Who do we got in here? What up, Gossip, Millmaster, Jess, Eng, Sandwich, Zircon, Felonious Tea, Teferi, Shelton, John, Juglum, Kentucky, DB, Joshua, Machine, Pakesh, Jess, Ashmead. I think that's everybody. Hello. How's it going? Taco Tuesday. Oh, I like the way you think, Shelton. I like the way you think. When I lived in Toronto, there was a place I used to really like to go to for tacos. I don't have like a taco place here. We just make our tacos here instead. So there's no place to go for a Taco Tuesday. I guess there's probably somewhere to go, but nowhere that I really know of. I think there was something else. Anybody else from Canada in here? Me. I'm from Canada, DB. Me. Juglum. You add less sugar? Well, that's smart. That's smart. Cut down on the sugar in your Kool-Aid. I can get behind that. Paga says, shame many of the better flavors are stuck in the States. You're right. You're right. Actually, the ones that I got come from the States. They talk about like gallons and stuff like that. They're definitely from America, and they just get imported by like convenience stores and stuff. So, but yeah, if you go to the grocery store, the only thing you can find is like a pre-made tub of just cherry Kool-Aid. That's it. Other than that, they've got like Kool-Aid jammers, and I don't want to put anything called a jammer in my mouth, right? I just feel like that's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. Barrenter, no more barks for good, pretty much. Well, maybe not for good, but for the foreseeable future. I've made some changes to my diet, and it involves cutting out carbonated beverages and stuff like that. I got some nonsense health issues going on that have genuinely been improved by the changes that I have made. So as much as I sometimes I yearn for Barksitude, it's not on the menu for now. Mostly it's just water, but I'm trying different kinds of teas and stuff as well. I tried some weird one called Relax today or whatever. Pakesh, oh yeah, acid reflux definitely sucks, especially when it progresses and gets worse, man. So I've lived it. But the good news is I've been keeping a little log of how things are going, and it seems like the medication has worked pretty well, and I might not need to go back on it with the changes that I've made. So time will tell on that front, but I am feeling optimistic in that regard. What's going on, Soil? Pikesh, you made tacos tonight? You like 10-inch soft ones in your mouth, bro? When it comes to tacos, I like them hard. I want them to crunch, you know? Sarah, you're in Ontario? Me too. Cherry or orange? They don't have... The orange actually is fine. There's nothing wrong with orange Kool-Aid. I can totally get down with orange Kool-Aid. The cherry one is pretty underwhelming. I've got strawberry right now. They've got other options like electric lemonade or something. Or maybe it's electric blue. I don't... Electric blue raspberry lemonade. I might be leaving some of the words out. Ashmead, you're trying to quit soda and cigarettes for health reasons? Well, I'm behind you, bro. I quit smoking tobacco years and years ago, and I quit smoking altogether, including the puff puff pass stuff. Not nearly as long ago as the tobacco. I switched over to edibles, and it's a million times better. Quitting smoking is a fantastic idea. Quitting pop can be hard. The sugar cravings. You know what I found that helped me out a little bit is when you really want like a can of pop or something. For me, this is a very specific thing. You'll need to find your own specific thing. But those little marshmallow bananas, do you know what I'm talking about? I love those. Those are delicious. So what I'll do is if it's like, yo, I want pop, it's just your brain going, bro, give me sugar, or maybe give me caffeine, but whichever it is. And I mean, I guess this doesn't work if it's the caffeine your brain wants, so you'll have to find that elsewhere. But totally, just having one of those little marshmallow bananas, the sugar from that, it actually worked. I was like, oh, okay. After a little bit, I was like, I'm not really thinking about having pop anymore. It's just like a habit. Prakash, raise the head of your bed. I've thought about doing that. If things continue, I've slept the last number of nights and had no issues. So it looks like bro, I had some really bad habits. I drank way too much pop like all the time, right? Also, I would overeat, and specifically at night. Like once the stream ended, I would go into like baked munch mode where I would eat just ridiculous amounts of junk or whatever. I wouldn't eat them throughout the day mostly. They would just sit on the table being ignored. But once nighttime came, like after midnight, I had my hour of power. I just crammed a whole bunch of crap into my body. And holding back on that has made a big difference too. Jess, are you puking in the middle of the night and quickly swallowing it? That could be. You should talk to a doctor about that for real, bro. One of the things that dudes are really bad for, and trust me, I was way worse for it, and I'm still kind of bad for it, is not going and seeing a doctor when something's wrong, right? Women are way better at going to the doctor when they got something going on and going, yo, help me sort this out. So for real, that is a level where you need to see a doctor, bro. You need to see a doctor. Like, I puking in the night? That's intense. That's intense. I would not want that. I would not want that. Kentucky, what the hell's a Shkatsi ring? That sounds like something you'd buy from a Khajiit in in Skyrim, right? Oh, Ashmead, you're diabetic, so you only drink sugar-free. Oh, yeah. Well, then definitely the stuff that they put in the pops to make them sugar-free, I feel like that's even worse than just pop that has sugar in it. So, yeah, switching over to coffee is probably going to be a win for you, bro. You got diabetic from drinking 4 liters of Mountain Dew every day? Wow. That's crazy. What up, Fisher? No, for real, Jess, listen, bro. You need to go to a doctor. Like, for real, for real. You need to go. We're in Canada, so I know it doesn't cost you nothing but a fucking phone call and maybe a trip on the bus. So do it up. Do it up. Go to your doctor and talk about that shit. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a moron. Address the stuff earlier rather than later. Your doctor knows and didn't do anything? Well, all right. Are you sure you explained it properly? Like, didn't you say, what do we do about this? Or any of that? Right? Fisher, hot and muggy at work. Bro, the humidity here today was insane. I was like, come on. I went out, like, I have to make sure that I cover my arms and everything when I go out in the sun, because otherwise I end up getting, like, I think the doctor called it an allergic reaction or something like that. But it's, I need to have long sleeves. And so I went out today and I was just like, oh, this is intolerable. Intolerable. Jess, maybe you need a new doctor, bro. Maybe you need to find yourself a new doctor. If you're telling your doctor about multiple health issues and they're not helping you or telling you like what you need to do, it might be that maybe you've just either you've got a bad doctor or you soured the relationship with them and they don't think you're worth it because you're not taking care of yourself or whatever else. So it's like, screw it. Like, I've dealt with doctors that didn't care about me, and I've dealt with doctors that did care about me, and the difference is astounding. And I know my current doctor, like, loves me, bro. He wants me to stick around. He'll give me the attention and time that I need, but not every doctor has been like that. So you can look around for a new one. It might not be the easiest to find, but it probably is the right thing to do. Kanzuki, a Shikatsu ring is a narrowing of the esophagus from scar tissue. The doctors had to stretch it back. Oh, I got news for you. That's not a thing, right? Like, they were just like, close your eyes. I've got to use this tool to stretch out your throat to get it back to normal. And you're like, feels salty and fleshy, doctor. And it's like, yeah, don't worry about the bulbous hanging hairy thing at the end of it. I got news for you, bro. You got molested by your doctor, right? Potts, don't I love it when it's hard to breathe the air in? No, I don't like that, actually. I don't. Jess, man, I wouldn't trust it to a doctor who's not telling you what to do and you're random Google searching. Because, bro, your brain don't work right. And, you like... Don't take a fucking Google search to be the end all be all, dude. For real. Get a fucking healthcare practitioner that gives a shit about you. And more importantly, give a shit about yourself. That's the most important thing, is actually caring about yourself enough to look after yourself. It does have some downsides. I kind of miss when I didn't care about myself, because then all the things that were happening to me didn't bother me as much because I didn't care if I lived, right? But it's better to care. It's absolutely better to care. Trust me on that. Joglin, when you get hot, you get anxious and restless. I feel you. I feel you on that. Prakash, it got stuffy where you. All you did was open the window to let the heat out. You open the window, the heat's coming in here. In the old days, they used a whale bone. Now we use human bones. Prakash says you can talk to him on a telehealth line as well. Go to a walk-in sometime and get a second opinion. That's not a bad idea, but not sometime. Not sometime. Do it fucking tomorrow. Do it tomorrow, bro. You're just gonna fucking put it off. For real. For real. You like coming to live streams, don't you? And you like hearing me say that you're a fucking idiot, don't you? You're not going to be able to do that if you let your hearing go, you dumb bastard, right? How am I going to tell you to go fuck yourself if you don't take care of your hearing, you fucking monkey moron? Huh? Steve says, yeah, if you Google a symptom 9 times out of 10, you have cancer. That's what I say to my doctors when I go, like, well, I only have one doctor, but I've said it to different ones throughout the years. I'm like, okay, so this is going on, and I've Googled it, and I definitely have cancer. And they usually get a good laugh out of that. And I'm like, it must be so annoying to you to have people come in and have done their research and trying to tell you what they think it is with their completely uneducated opinions, right? So for me, I don't let that stuff run away with my imagination and go, oh my God, I've got cancer, because then you go and see the doctor and it's like, nah, bro, it's just some minor thing. I remember when I thought I had ball bag cancer. Nope, not at all. Not at all, but I did have to let some lady grocery scan my ball bag. Fisher, you finally finished getting all the battle damage to offline Autobots from the 86 movie? Nice. That's cool. That's cool. I see you guys offering suggestions to Jess of what it could be. Look, there you go right there. You got multiple people saying what it could be. Now, don't listen to them because they're not doctors, but think about the fact that if they got these different opinions and all this, that probably means there's other doctors who have other fucking opinions as well, but they'll have medical knowledge. Like if you say to the doctor, there's something wrong with my ear, and he goes, let me put my big toe in your butt, let him do it. He's the medical professional. Let him toe it up. Ashmead said, for the first few years I had diabetes, I didn't take it seriously, and my primary care doctor at the time point blank said, you're killing yourself, get a new doctor. Like, I feel, I was saying this to my doctor, I'm like, it's got to be really difficult for you, where you get a job where you specifically want to help people, and you tell people what they need to do, and they just don't do it. Either they won't come out and look for the help, or they won't do what it takes to take care of themselves. So you have to like straddle this line where you care about people enough to help them, but you don't care so much that you get destroyed by watching them fall apart. And the fact that you ultimately can tell them what to do, but are impotent. You don't have any ability to make them do it. Like you can say, this is how you fix your life, and they just won't listen, right? Like, there was a long time where I didn't care if there was a battery in the smoke detector. If you don't care if there's a battery in your smoke detector, that means you don't care if a fire starts in the middle of the night and you just get ended. That's what that means. Like, for real. And you should care. It's like, it's not healthy to not care about yourself. I know it sounds kind of obvious, but for real, a lot of obvious things in life you just don't think about because you wander through distracted by a million things. But ultimately, the truth is, you only got your health, son. That's it. Everything else is a vector through that kind of deal. That's not a great way to describe it. That doesn't really... What am I trying to say here? You experience all of existence through yourself, right? Like you guys are experiencing yourself experience me. You're not experiencing me directly, if that makes any sense. And by that I mean... not every one of you is going to resonate the same way with what I'm saying or react the same way to jokes or all these different things, right? Because you're experiencing yourself. We could each eat the same sandwich and have a wildly different experience. So the experience isn't inherent to the sandwich itself. What I'm trying to say is, like, you are the conduit through which all of your experiences occur. And if you allow your health to deteriorate, you're destroying the conduit that is the key to every experience. If you get unhealthy enough, you won't be able to enjoy anything. Think about what happens when you just catch a cold or the flu or something and you're really sick. Think about how little matters to you and how little you want to do, right? And how you'd be like, yo, I'd throw like a $500 television out the window right now if it would make me feel better and like cure me of this. It's just, we really take our bodies for granted and don't take care of them as dudes. And your health matters. You fucking matter. For real. For real. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Jess, your doctor told you to put mineral oil in your every day and spray water until the ears waxed out. Well, that's once you finish that, here's what you need to do. You need to get a little booklet like this. And you need to note down the instructions that your doctor gives you. And then you need to do them and come back to him and say, all right, I did what you said, and I still have these problems. So we've ruled this out. What's the next step, right? Because if a doctor tells you, do X, and then you go and you don't come back and talk about it, they're going to assume X is solved, right? Captain DB says, give me that board. I will, buddy. You're Lord of the Board. Thanks for the super chat. Millmaster, men think it's noble to ignore their own problems to help others with theirs. I think that is a very grandiose way to put it, because when I was ignoring my problems, it wasn't because I was focused on other people, and I don't think that's the reality for a lot of people. I think that ultimately it's just, as dudes, we think it's going to be fine. We hope it'll go away, whatever it is. But I don't think that it really boils down to. I don't think it's quite down to that. I can understand the whole, like, I'm manly, I can tough it out, I don't want to be a problem for other people. I can understand that more, I guess. But, like, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, right? Kensuke, you need to take care of your taste buds health. I wouldn't if I was you, because the next time you need one of those Skolo rings, if your sense of taste is really strong, you're gonna taste the full-on Dr. Ballbag, right? Hi, hello, I'm Dr. Ballbag. Sarah, didn't realize this was gonna be a philosophy live, and you're here for it. I never know what the streams are gonna be about, right? And I feel like, honestly, it's easy to spend all your time avoiding any kind of serious subjects. And I crack jokes and talk about whatever. And if there's a chance that somebody's going to listen to me and it's going to, like, improve their life, like, health-wise, that's super valuable. Like, I quit smoking. I did a whole series called Pack a Day where I was opening a booster pack every day. And this was years ago in my attempt to quit smoking. And it took me so many years to quit smoking. So many years. But some other people followed my example, and they're like, yo, you did it, I'm gonna do it too. And I talked to them in the live stream and told them they could do it, and they did. And I've gotten emails from people saying, yo, thank you very much for helping me to quit smoking, bro, because now I get to stay with my kids longer, I get to live longer, all this stuff. And that is of immense, like, if I look back on what I've done with my time and my words, that is something that ranks right up there, like 100%, because people genuinely fucking matter. Nothing else really does. Like, other stuff is cool, but it's almost irrelevant if none of you guys are around. Do you know what I mean? Zircon says, Jess is your doctor and Ent? Get a referral to one. Don't listen to him, bro. Do not listen to Zircon. Let me tell you something right now. That's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. Ents are goddamn tree folk from the Lord of the Rings. Like, he's telling you to get a tree folk as your medical care professional. Do not listen to him, okay? Just go to one of our regular Canadian doctors, because on top of the tree folk not even being a thing, do you know how long it takes for them to make a fucking decision? It could take hundreds of years. Like, so you could be dead before he even decides what to tell you. So don't go to an Ent, bro. Like, Zircon, Jess is really fucking stupid. You're going to send him out in the woods talking to trees. Steve, some are scared of what it could be. Yup, fear keeps you away. And the bulletproof thing too. Yup, absolutely. What up, Night Crow? Ashmead, yeah, the whole, it hasn't killed me yet, so this issue's probably no big deal attitude. I've been bad for it. I have started to prioritize taking care of my health more. And it's challenging. It genuinely is. It's hard to take care of yourself because there's lots of different ways that you can get snared up. You can get snared up in the whole uber masculine, I'm tough, I can take anything. But you can also get snared up in the, I don't matter, so it doesn't matter what happens to me. Who cares what I do? Who cares if I destroy myself? I mean, if I'm gone, I can't feel pain. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, it can go either way. Zircon, you went to a local ear, nose, and throat doctor for a hearing test, and he ended up helping you with your reflux. Reflux is a real bitch, man. I know that. What up, Chris? Ashmead, this is your happy place. Always been here when life has gotten hard. Well, I'm glad that what I do helps you out, buddy. Sometimes, actually, when I'm having a hard time, I know that coming and hanging out with you guys will make me feel better. Because part of it is I can talk about whatever's on my mind, whatever's going on, right? And part of the reason I'm talking about what's going on with me now health-wise is part of it, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed that I've ended up like this through making less than intelligent choices, right? Like, admitting that to yourself and everybody, that's embarrassing. But I do it in the hopes, well, one, because I like just being open with you guys, but also in the hopes that if there's other people who are in the same boat as me who hear this, that they can just be like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I'm like Hatcher, I'm going to take care of myself a little bit too, whatever. You know, it's a bit by bit. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to align your diet into this perfect fucking thing. I'm not, like, I cut out the carbonated pops, that kind of stuff or whatever, but I've got, like, potato chips and chocolate bars for after the stream, all that stuff. Like, I'm not gorging after the stream. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to savor more. So I'll have some salt and vinegar chips, but I'm not picking up 3 or 4, jamming them into my mouth, right? I'm having one chip. Maybe I'm trying to lick that flavor off both sides. And if I have like a little chocolate piece of chocolate, because I got the mini chocolate bars, instead of popping the whole thing in the mouth or finishing off in 2 bites, it's small little bites and actually like savoring it, really, just fully, like, there's, like, if you take a little mini Snickers bar and you just have a tiny bite of it, there's so much going on there. There's so much flavor. There's so much craziness. You don't need the whole thing all at once on top of all the crazy calories and shit, right? Derek says, isn't it called March of the Last Ents for a reason? He's Bigfoot and Ent seems appropriate. Damn, Zircon, you got me. You got me. Fisher says, go looking for ant wives and touch grass. Oh, speaking of touching grass, remember how 2 days ago it was iRobot? Watched that. We talked about surrogates as well. You guys were right. It definitely was Surrogates. Surrogates was the movie that I had seen where you go out into the world. Because I remembered nothing from iRobot except the look of the white robots. So it was definitely Surrogates, but I remembered like nothing of that movie either. So it was pretty enjoyable. We were watching the enclaves of people who've refused to use the surrogate technology, and Carly's like, these are the people who are touching grass. And I'm just like, you know what, that's true. These are the grass touchers of this society. That's funny. Millmaster gifting a membership to Jess. Look at that. There you go, Jess. You got to live longer so that you can have memberships for longer, right? So you can keep building up those member levels, bro. You guys stay alive. I'll keep coming and hanging out, right? Packish, yeah, savor the flavor. You like your tacos flavorful but not heat laden. I agree. I don't like to go heavy on the spice. Skeleton, we're all victims. Look at you. Look at you. You're growing as you learn. Super duper, you've never seen me in a t-shirt? And you call yourself a fan, bro? Psh, psh. You sound like some Johnny come lately. Johnny come notly, more like it. Package says, live longer, touch membership. There you go. There you go. Datomatic says, I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you do. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Sick, I got news for you. I don't give a fuck. You're afraid of eating spicy stuff? Yeah. Yes, I am. You've never seen how I reacted eating 7 spicy Skittles. The spice and heat, it instantly comes for me like a devil in the night. And that was before I even decided, like, to make dietary changes to fucking deal with the reflux and other nonsense. They're going to jam a camera down and take a look inside me to make sure there's no cancer. That's going to happen at some point. But, yeah, it's... Spice has never agreed with me at all. And it's not enjoyable. It's just, it makes things inedible. Want me to rub awful tasting dirt on your food? Like, that's the equivalent. Pretty much same difference. Really spicy stuff sucks. It sucks at Changus. That's why I got hyped when they brought back old-fashioned barbecue. Because some of you guys are old enough to remember that barbecue chips didn't mean, like, burn your dick bag off hot, right? No. It was just like a good flavor, like yum, barbecue, right? And then one day, all barbecue chips, became like fucking spicy. So they brought the old fashioned ones back, and I'm like, right on, and we got those. But then it seems like they're making them spicier. I think they might be backing off on that, where we're gonna call it this, but we're gonna make it spicier. It's disappointing. Skellen, from what you understood, part of the point of adding spiciness flavor to food was to force yourself to eat faster? Faster? I already eat like a fucking wolf, man. I eat like 16 midgets are coming to fucking steal my food, and they're all gonna grab handfuls of it. I'm like, the amount of time that like it takes for me to eat compared to Carly, that's something that I'm working on as well. Slowing down and fucking chewing the food. Because damn, man, sometimes you end up with a mouthful so big that you're like, I feel it sticking, son. I feel it fucking sticking. And never like on the level where it's blocking your ability to breathe or anything, but you're just like, okay, elevator goes down, motherfucker. Trevor, you've never had a spicy barbecue chip? What? I find that hard to believe, man. All the barbecue, unless you're just so insane that what is spicy isn't spicy to you. Because, yeah, that's what all the barbecue chips are. Wait, barbecue in America is typically sweet and smoky. So then you guys don't have it. You guys don't have it then. You have it the way it's supposed to be. Well, fuck, I want American barbecue chips then. Steve, all the chip companies trying to outdo themselves with spice. I don't doubt it. Millmaster, you're right. Barbecue is very generic, right? So it can mean a range of different things. If you eat spicy food faster, you're not going to experience the spiciness as much. But why would you even want that then? Doesn't make sense. Juggling, yeah, exactly. Inhaling it, I do that as well. Super Duper Super Chat says, buy some barbecue and hot sauce, live life. I legitimately cannot have hot sauce, man. Like even the weak nonsense like Frank's Red Hot, it's too much for me, bro. It's literally too much for me. It's insane. Like when we go to when we get like Thai food or whatever, and they're like, what spice level? I'm like, you whatever level 0, like the lowest level. 0, 0, 0, 0. Like, is there a -1? Like, I literally would get this crispy chicken from this place downtown, and I would tell them to make the sauce as mild as possible and to put it on the side rather than on the food, so I can decide how much to dip it. That's the level. That's the level. Jess, you had Frank sauce in your eyes and it wasn't that bad? Tabasco on pizza? I don't think so. Goddard. Oh, you love spice, but you like it to be low to medium heat at most. I don't even want medium heat, bro. When I go to the chicken restaurants and they're like, spicy or mild? I'm like, mild. Mild, I'll be able to tell if this was even near the spicy. You had to order original instead of mild, and so it came out as medium. Well, that's dastardly. Friend was sweating from his eyeballs. Bro, just getting like a spicy chicken sandwich at Wendy's makes me break out in sweats like I think the police are coming for me, right? Yeah, that's right, Super Duper. Treat me like an 80-year-old dying a dying 80-year-old when determining spice levels. 100%. 100%. Trevor, being in Canada 2 days drive from each other is the same region. You know what? They have different foods in different parts of Canada. Like Newfoundland isn't that far away, but they have all kinds of different chips and pops and stuff that they don't have here. So there are a bunch of regionally specific available stuff. But all the barbecue in this area is all spicy nonsense. The traditional stuff from Lay's was the only thing I could find that was like old school barbecue. Skeleton, was there any favorite standout moment between the two movies for me? I like what stood out for me across both movies was that they both treated like robots like people in ways that just didn't make any sense overall. Like if everybody in the world's using surrogates, society would be reroute like why are people driving cars that cost gas when you could literally parkour to work and do super leaps and stuff. Like he's leaping all over with this super robot body, right? So if you can do that, why isn't everybody just running to work? Like they never get tired, none of that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, and it's funny to watch a movie through the lens of the current era based on the current era's technology. So cell phones are fucking ubiquitous now, right? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. But back in the day, people had cell phones, but cell phones were not like the main thing, right? Like you didn't, not everybody even had a cell phone. It wasn't like we all have cell phones and they're all smartphones with all these apps and stuff. So like the Surrogates movie, everybody has robot proxies of themselves. None of them have cell phones or anything built into them at all. Like none of that. Like you gotta run over to a landline half the time. Like I said to Carly, I'm like, does nobody have cell phones? And so there's like one moment in the movie where Bruce Willis is on like a cell phone, and that's it. And that's it. And so the idea of a society that's advanced to having literal robot surrogates of yourself, like fully controllable robots that you man by laying in these beds, the idea of them not having like high-tech cell phones is fucking laughable as hell, right? Like the one guy has to have a phone brought into him by another guy. Look, it's the mayor or whatever, chief, and he's got to hold this tiny little thing up to his ear. It's like, this is stupid. So there was a bunch of dumbness, like, so you spend 8 hours laying in a bed working your robot body to go to your job, and then you sleep 8 hours a day, like bare minimum. Like why isn't everybody atrophied as fuck? Like they did a good job of making people all look less attractive than their idealized robot forms, but it was like, yo, wouldn't you be withered? Like they should have shown these beds moving people's muscles or something to show like, yo, we like this while they're doing their thing, this will also keep them healthy, right? How about the gross fat dude behind the hot chick bot? He wasn't as fat as he would be now, right? Like, we got 600-pound motherfuckers now. They would show a guy who was so fat and glorping over the side, and like, when Bruce Willis was all pissy to the lawyer, I don't know, you could be some fat guy. And it's like, bro, like, how have you not already put together that people will be catfishing in these things? You're supposed to be a fucking detective. Are you an idiot? Yeah, of course there's going to be dudes masquerading as ladies and getting it on in alleyways. You fucking clown. Like, what? What? So, they're like, as I watched the flow of the movie, it was enjoyable, and I wasn't pulled out of the movie by things, but giving it actual scrutiny at all, and you just start to go, none of this makes any sense. Like, they're conducting their war with everybody in robots. Like and the guy even says, these robots are expensive. Stop fucking getting them blown up, dickhead, right? And they just like keep loading new people into them, and they come like running out again, do like Stormship Troopers, and it's just like, yo, have you heard of drones, bro? Because there'd be drones for this. Like, they're not going to be fighting future wars where people are literally, yeah, we made an entire human-sized robot that looks just like a regular person. It's like, what? Why does it have clothing on? It's a fucking robot. If you need it camo, fucking spray paint the thing. Why is it wearing clothing and all this shit? Not like... So, it's quaint to watch that kind of stuff. You know? Where you just go, wait, what? Yeah, my 600-pound surrogate. See, I was disappointed when I saw the fat guy. Because I had vague recollections of the movie before, and I'm like, there's a big fat guy who's like pretending to be a chick. And then I'm like, this is it movie? He barely did anything. He didn't get railed or nothing. And he's not a fucking Jigo 700-pound galamkaloomp, right? So I'm like, bro, I see fucking freak shows that look like they're going to die on the internet all the time now. Like, not because I want to, just because the internet can't help itself. Meet Jeff. He's 900 pounds. How, motherfucker? How, how do you just moving your arms and mouth enough to eat should be burning some of them calories? How do you get that fucking fat? How do you get that fat? You just fucking, like, you don't move and have people, like, put food in your mouth and then move your jaws for you? Or, like, what the fuck? What up, Christ? How you doing, buddy? Fisher, you still have one of those briefcase car phones? Does it work? Juggling, you don't cook, you go to family-owned places? Family restaurants, all right. All right. Altered Carbon is a better story of body replacement? I heard that Altered Carbon fucking sucks, dude. That's what I heard. You get that fat through enablers. I mean, that's what it seems like it's got to be, right? Like, how can you get that big on your own? I feel sad for those people when I see them, right? Like, I'm horrified, disgusted, and I feel very bad for them. Like, all of it. I'm like, yo, looking at you is terrifying. Like, the way you look at, like, I don't want to be dead. And that you look like the physical incarnation of death. Not the Grim Reaper who's come to get me. Just your death in Akira form. Oh, Kaneda, right? I'm crushing her. It's insane. It's insane. And it's gross, right? And you feel really bad for them because it's got to be extremely difficult to live under those circumstances. And getting out of those circumstances is going to take an insane amount of work because it's going to require not only changing habits in terms of eating, like consumption, but also a huge change in moving and exercising. And that becomes progressively harder. I know that when I put on, 35, 40 extra pounds, that I found myself leaning on walls. Like, I didn't think about it. It was just like, when I would normally be standing, now I'm leaning on a wall, right? Like, there's all the stuff you got to pay attention to. My back was getting progressively worse. And I have been exercising over the course of like the last year or so, not 100% all the time, went in phases and whatever, but I have been doing a reasonable amount of exercise over the past year or so, and it's definitely helping my back. Like, it's helping me physically, but taking that weight off was the right thing to do. And it wasn't difficult for me. And that's not to brag. That's just a statement of reality. I'll say when things are difficult, right? But for me, it wasn't hard because getting fat was the challenging part for me. For those of you guys who were around when I started, that I was fucking rail thin, Skeletor, unhealthy. Life was fucking difficult. And it was stress and poverty. All these different things were going on in life. Figuring out what was going on with Carly because we didn't know about her disability then. So there was so much going on that was eating away at me. And I was getting dangerously underweight pretty much, right? So I just said, okay, we're playing Operation Weight Gain. And that entailed eating burgers and poutine every fucking day. And let me tell you, out of all the medical procedures that I've gone through, right, which is just my Operation Weight Gain, it was the most enjoyable because the place down the street where I live downtown made amazing poutines and amazing burgers. And the guys who worked there were my friends. So I would get deals on the price and stuff, which made it more affordable and more doable. And I ate those every day, like every day, and it worked. I started to get bigger. But then I didn't pay any attention to what weight I was at, because I was just like, you just got to eat and get bigger. And then when I fucking finally realized, I was like, whoa, you overshot the goal considerably, bro. We were looking to get 30 to 40 pounds. You fucking doubled it. You went like 80 pounds on me, you fat fuck, right? Like, so I became a fatty boy. But all I had to do was just stop eating fucking burgers and poutines every fucking day and go back to what was a like the diet that I had essentially like before, but not as bad, where it was like, you know, vegetables and stuff mixed in, getting enough to eat, but not overeating. And I lost all the weight really easily. Like I understand that it was really easy for me because the challenge was getting myself to eat more, and just not eating that much wasn't that hard because I've never been a huge eater, right? My biggest eating is, like I said, the fucking hour of power after the stream where I'm like, stuff my face, right? And I don't do that the same way anymore. Now I do the time of savoring. And once I've eaten enough, then I get up and I fucking floss and I brush my teeth and do all that. And that is the official signal of no more eating stuff, right? That's how I've been doing it. Watcher says, a man I met at the gym recently put it this way: arms are made in the gym, bellies are made in the kitchen, and that really stuck. Yeah, bro. You know what? Like, it's awesome when somebody can put something succinctly in a way that sticks with you and encapsulates like a bigger message overall in a way that like resonates. That's always fantastic. And yeah, you have to put in a bunch of effort to lose weight and to build muscle, and it takes very little effort to overeat. You know, like that's super easy to do. And all the balancing of the nutrients and all that stuff is a challenge. And I'm not some fanatic who works out every day and has like a hardcore ritual or whatever, but I have switched to taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator. And I've noticed like the point where you start huffing, right? Where it's like, like once you're up 8, 9 flights of stairs, whatever it is, everyone's got a different level. For me, the huffing started originally, I think around floor 5, maybe. Like if I was going up, like we'll just say like a 10 flight building. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. So it'd be like a 5, and then it got to like a 7, and then it got to the point where I'll huff like pretty badly if I run up 7 flights of stairs, or not hardcore run, but still run up them, you know? So that's the improvement that I've seen over the last bit of time, where it's like, but that's taking a bunch of effort and it fucking sucks. Exercising fucking sucks, bro. That's the problem I have, is it's not enjoyable. You can do something enjoyable at the same time, audiobooks or whatever, right? But exercising fucking sucks, man. Doing push-ups fucking sucks dick. Doing sit-ups, that's garbage. Like that's like, I do it, and I do different ones on different days. I don't have a routine. I don't have a set amount, and I'm still just kind of learning what I'm doing with a bunch of them. Like I just found out the difference between when you like fucking like clench up your muscles or whatever you want to call it, because I don't know the terminology, but when you have your like muscles like braced or clenched or whatever, and you're doing the exercises, that it's just like, oh, this is so much harder. This is clearly how I should have been doing it all along, but I couldn't, you know? So incremental improvement, and it's resulted in a couple of different people commenting just abruptly out of nowhere that I'm looking better specifically. So it's just like, oh, I'm glad that what I'm doing is paying off, not just internally where I can see the differences, but externally where other people can apparently too. That's a nice feeling, you know? For the longest time in my life, I treated exercise as a non-thing, right? But I got enough movement in my everyday life that it apparently didn't really matter, because it's never really been a thing. I never experienced any kind of real atrophy. So I was pretty much the same all along, right? But YouTube changed that. YouTube, you can, I understand why YouTubers can get fat and whatever. It's because before I'd have to like haul all kinds of stuff around or haul my ass around, all kinds of different stuff, right? But when you are making videos, I don't even have to stand up to make my videos. I can do everything sitting down. So I stopped, like in the pandemic as well, right? All that comes together, it stops me from doing stuff. So my muscles atrophied for real. I picked up a box of Magic, and for the first time in my life had a very weird experience where I was like, this box feels heavier than it should. Like, this feels heavier than it did. Something like that. And then it just clicked into my head. It's like, that's not how physics work, dickhead. Like, no. And you've handled boxes like this for decades now. For decades. So you know what a box of 2-row card, like a 2-row box full of Magic cards, you know how heavy that should feel. How heavy a 4-row, a 5-row, all of it. Like, I've handled so many boxes that you just know. And I picked the box up and I was like, this is heavier than usual. And then it clicked. It's like, nah, you're weaker, bitch. You're weaker, right? And that showed itself out in a few different ways. And then I started to take action, and the results I saw were just like, I think it's awesome to skim pools, man. There's just something satisfying about skimming a pool. It's like Zen, bro. You drag the net through the water, right? And so it's just got this obviously fluid kind of motion to it. The water gives you some resistance, but it's got a fluid moment to it. And you're like removing all the garbage out of the pool, which benefits everybody who uses the pool, right? 'Cause it's not like I have my own pool. You just got to go. You got to go to a pool that's for a bunch of people to use, or a friend's pool or whatever. You know what I mean? That kind of a setup. But I like when there's a skimmer there and you can skim the pool, because you get the experience of the motion and cleaning out the pool, removing that all. There's not a lot of things in life that like feel finished and complete, but when you skim the pool, you can just see it all there. Like, it's all satisfying in one tight little box, It might be why some people enjoy cleaning up, because it's just like, you've got the control over this, you can see positive results, it's just satisfying. So I noticed after a while, I was like, yo man, this skimmer is easier to work with. And it's like, this isn't a new skimmer. It's like, just like the box felt heavier. No, you've gotten stronger. So you're just having an easier time with this. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So that was the first time I ever had the positive feedback of actually seeing the process, like seeing progress by actually feeling it and experiencing it. And that's something exercise had always really lacked for me, where it always felt like a hassle, but I never felt like I got anything directly out of it. So now I can see little changes here or there that said, yo, this has been worth it. This is great. So it's boring but awesome, I guess, Ashmead, your huffing and puffing starts as you approach a set of stairs. I'm glad that I started taking the stairs in buildings instead of like the elevator. And obviously I only go up that many flights when I'm in a building that has that many flights. So, but I just notice the difference. I pay attention to it and I see the progress. And like jogging, running, however you want to put it. I feel like it's running more than jogging. But anyways, up 7 flights of stairs. Like before I couldn't have done that. And now I can. I don't really want to, but I can. So yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't cracked into the magic that is like being into exercising, because there's people who are right into it, and that's got to be awesome, because I recognize now what I refused to acknowledge when I was younger, and that your body is super fucking important. And just because you're smart doesn't mean you ignore your body. That's not being smart. Like, you can just go, oh, what do I need to be strong for? What do I need any of this for? I'm quick-witted. I'm intelligent. I can sort out whatever I need. But at the end of the day, you need your body to function, and it helps your mind function. So that's an unavoidable reality that it's foolish to ignore. But, folly of the young, ignorant, whatever, arrogant, however you want to put it. You start out with that mentality when you're young, and then you never cast it off, and you end up where I ended up. Shelly says most Magic players get winded from shuffling their decks. That's funny. So yeah, man, exercising, it sucks. The whole time I'm doing it, I'm just like, I've got the book that I got from Medieval Times. I decided, like, this is the book that I'm going to use to keep track of all the stuff that I'm doing. So I write down anything that I've done exercise-wise, like however many steps I've taken, if I did, like, how many flights of stairs I went up that day, or if I lifted some weights, or if I did sit-ups, or whatever, right? Like, it's not like a straight line up. It's all kind of all over the place, because sometimes I'm more motivated, sometimes I'm less motivated, but I'm doing it consistently enough that it's working out. It's working out. Foundry, can you offer graphic design services in a voluntary capacity? Well, what are you talking about? You're gonna try and turn me into one of those VTuber moosh mooshes with the big fat jugs? Is that what we're talking about? Because yeah, let's do it, man. I need to go and make some bank. I need to go and make some bank. So if I turn into a big jugged anime waifu, do you know like how much money and dick pics I'm gonna get, bro? The answer is all of them. All of the monies and all of the dick pics. And then I'm gonna forward them all to the police. I'm gonna be like, there they are, officer. Arrest all these dicks. I'll keep the money part, but I will forward the pictures onto the proper authorities. Melmass says, build up muscle mass in your 40s and 50s so you don't shrivel up later in life. It's true. You need more protein as you fucking age, and your muscles apparently go away. And I felt it firsthand. So, Foundry, well, you know what? The second response, the first way you worded it made it seem like you might be like almost a robot. I wasn't sure because I've been watching robot movies. So I was like, is this guy a robot? Is this guy a robot? But now with the winky lick emoji, which I don't even speak emojis, so the reality that you are indeed human. And what are you saying? What are you saying? What graphics? I don't even have any graphics on the screen, man. What do you mean? Like make like something that flies on the screen and like chicken wings? Like, you know that the more you know, like the comet that flies by on TV, like that, but it just says chicken wings. Ashmead, yeah, you were in the Marines, so of course you were going to be super fit, bro. So yeah, I don't know, man. I look at life obviously different now that I'm older, and I feel like for a lot of people, you got to start losing some of what you got before you value what you got left. Like, people who are in perfect health, a lot of them don't realize, what happens when something goes wrong? Like, what happens when your foot gives out, or like any number of things. You know, what happens when parts of your body start failing or whatever. And I think that when that happens to people, some of them don't think about it at all, but other people just go, I got to try and value what I have left and use it well and take care of it well, right? Because that is a logical conclusion to come to, but you need kind of the prodding of something happening to you to let you know. And I've recognized that, like, if I live a long life, I'm at the midpoint, right? Like, you can end up living till you're like 90 and be in a body that's completely broken garbage, and then just, I'm still alive. Oh, I hate it all the time. I hate every moment of it. You know what I mean? So, that don't sound too good to me, bro. Foundry, you're in Australia? Oh shit, man. You're going to get bitten by a kangaroo that's got a whole bunch of spiders in its pouch that it throws like ninja stars. It's going to take the spiders, smooth their legs out. Brrrk-a-day, mate. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie, Crocodile Dundee. And it's going to fucking spider ninja you. Because I know what happens in Australia. Maz, yeah, well, that's the reality, right? That's the reality. All your kids are gonna grow up to be junkie criminals, Maz. Juggling that body pillow thing is probably never gonna happen because I forgot about it until you brought it up. And I like, they messaged me probably over half a year ago originally. And then I messaged them months ago going, hey, do you still want to do that thing? Because I'm ready. And they said, yes, we do. And I never responded. So, like, I am bad at this kind of shit. I got a sponsored video coming out in a few days that I made 6 months ago. I made it 6 months ago, or like maybe not quite 6 months ago. Maybe it was 4 months ago. But the guy who did the sponsorship wants it to go. He's like, I want to do it in June, and I'm like, cool. So I scheduled it for fucking June, and then I emailed them and was just like, hey, just want to make sure the release date is still good with you, and I haven't heard back yet. And my imagination starts running away with me. I'm like, what if he's fucking dead? Like, it's been months and months, man. Like, what if he's dead? And then sponsorship goes out either way, but it's just like, if I don't hear back from him, I'm like, is he dead? I'm like, you didn't even get to see the ad come out before you died. He got to see it because he liked it, but like, he didn't get to see the sponsored video before it came out. Maz, you'd love your kids anyways if they were junkie criminals. Well, you shouldn't. I can tell just because they're your kids, Maz. I already know they're basically unlovable. They will not have meaningful relationships in their lives because you're their female role model. You're an unfit mother. Oh, I love the internet. I love it. Oh, that's funny. Makes me laugh. Yeah, Max, I knew you'd like that. Yeah, that shit's funny. Gianna's trying to horn in on this. I guess that makes two of us. I also am an unfit mother. Foundry. You know what? Probably by email, bro. Probably by email. So the email's real simple. themagicistorian@gmail.com. You can email me. You can email me there. That's easy. Man, I got a deal today. The chocolate that I bought was on sale, 30% off, and I price matched the potato chips that I was getting. So I saved like, what was it? Like, it would have been like $4.80 for this bag of chips, but I got it for $3.25, right? So it's like, oh yeah, it's like $1.55 off, man. It's like a third less. That's pretty good. The prices on stuff has gotten wild in a bunch of ways, but there's deals to be had. Carly came home with $6 chickens. Like $6 chickens. That's so cheap. I said to her, I'm like, what is this, a fucking time warp? If we get caught in a time warp, that's a great deal. I love it. I love it when you get a good deal on something, man. Found you. All right, you're going to send me an email. Sounds good. What's up, every day? How you doing? With the feathers? No, Gianna, what the fuck? Why would I want a chicken with the feathers? You just get it in a bag from the grocery store or whatever. Carly pays attention. She's got like apps to tell her what's going on where and all the different prices so she can price match, and she goes out to the different grocery stores to get us the best deal. She's always paying attention to the stuff that we need and when it's on sale, like all that stuff, right? So she'll like go, oh, they're selling bacon for like fucking $3 a pack. Like that's amazing when that's happening. So she'll go like across town to get that stuff, right? It's awesome. She'll also sit there and like, if there's a digital coupon and they're like, you can only use it on one pack, and it's just like, but there's no limit to the number of orders you can do, she'll just do a pack, put the coupon in, pay for it. And so she's just doing that. And the cashiers are like young high school girls who are like laughing at her, like, look at the weirdo or whatever. But it's just like, yo, every time she does this, she's getting the equivalent of $2 because we don't have to spend that on bacon, right? So when she, like at a certain point when she's rung these in, she's made more than your hourly wage just from the fact that she's willing to stand there at the self-checkout and do that in terms of the money she saves us. And then we just put it in the freezer. I couldn't eat bacon every day if it wasn't for Carly's excellent grocery maneuverings where we don't pay full price. Every once in a while, the bacon reserves will run low, and she'll be like, oh, I hope there's a sale soon. She doesn't want me to run out. Cethereal Super Chat says, glad to hear you're working on getting healthier, perp. Well, thanks, buddy. Appreciate not only the Super Chat, but the kind words, too. I enjoy doing all of this. Making videos, hanging out live stream with you guys. And I know when I'm not feeling well, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to... Like, if I'm feeling too sick, then I don't even want to come and stream. And that's a bummer for me because streams almost always improve my mood. Like, if I'm in a good mood, I end up in a great mood. If I'm in a bad mood, they'll move me to a neutral or good mood, right? That tends to be the way that it goes. So I am getting healthier so that we can keep doing all this goodness too, because I don't want to fall apart and then we can't keep messing around on whatever replaces YouTube in the future. Because I don't know, man. I feel like no matter what happened, even if I was forced to like go and get a regular job somewhere, then I would still be like, well, I gotta find time for streaming at the very least. Like, I couldn't just give this shit up, right? How else am I gonna tell Maz she's an unfit mother, but she's fit to give me 3 trees super sticker? Thanks for the forest, Maz. You can go and hang out there and pretend you're a Bigfoot. I'll send Jess out there to chase you down. Shelly, you're damn right. I do have a good lady. Carly's awesome, man. I'm very appreciative of her. And I'm glad that I can take care of her because it's very difficult for her to go out in the workforce with her disability. And I like her not having to worry about any of that stuff and just being able to focus on having a good life with me. You know what I mean? So she does an ace's job taking care of a bunch of things that, like, we're a team, right? So we do a bunch of different things together that make it all work. And her cooking skills, her ability to use food to figure out exactly how much we need to eat and like how to portion things out to get maximum value. She's always extracting extra value from meals in ways I wouldn't have considered. And it's not in like some, oh, this is some garbage throwaway meal. She's just like, nope, she just keeps coming up with great ideas that I would not have thought of. And it's like, oh, you're going to use this leftover meat from this for this. Oh, this is awesome. I wouldn't even know this was left over from this other thing, right? So you got that. Plus, she maximizes use of coupons, traveling to the right grocery stores, price matching, staying on top of all the different levels of things. Like today I said, we're out of ketchup. And she said, no, we're not. I got another bottle. I already knew that was going to happen. Like, she's pretty much always 2 steps ahead, if not 1 step ahead. Ashmead, you what? You bought your woman a washer and dryer, but she won't use them? She thinks it's witchcraft, bro. Jess, you chased a moose once. You'll chase her? All right. Yeah, well, Maz, you say you're really fast, but remember, if you're in the forest, you're going to have to watch out for, like, tangles and branches underfoot. So you could run into those. Carly's the best. I knew she was walking by. Shelly says, the market for a good woman is she make your life easier and build value. Absolutely. One that you know that you can trust, right? Where you don't have to worry that they're going to do anything to hose you, except an accident. Accidents can happen, right? So, but whatever. Where it's like, you know that they're not going to do anything to actively hose you. Where it's just like, all right, I can trust you not to mess with my stuff. Like, Carly is Carly's the only one that I've been with that I'm like, here, you can use my bank card or my credit card or whatever, right? I was like, no. I'll just give you some cash to the other ladies. But it's like, nope. She can be trusted. I'm not worried that she's going to come back and be like, all the worst that Carly can be accused of is that if she's going out to get something and I give her more money than she needs for that thing, she will generally find other things that we need to spend that money on. So she'll come back and be like, I bought the things I was supposed to, and then I got these things as well. And you look at it all and it's all practical, really useful stuff. And you're just like, well, it's whatever. Like, you're not going to be upset about it because it's like, no, you literally everything you bought seems useful. She doesn't spend money frivolously, which is why I just trust her and don't worry about it, which is great because obviously you want to fucking trust the person you're married to. Ashmead, oh, the dryer wasn't balanced right. Yeah, imagine your first experience with a dryer is one that's banging and rattling all around. It's like, no, I don't feel like getting my foot crushed or something by your stupid drying machine, bro. I'll just hang it on this string, man. Foundry. All right, buddy. I will take a look at that later. Maz, you were a 90s chick. You know how to run in a forest. The last generation to play outdoors in the trees. Yeah, that's crazy, man. When I think back to my childhood, there was no internet. I remember, yeah, climbing the trees and running around, riding bikes. My mom wouldn't let us stay inside and play Nintendo for more than an hour. Then we'd have to go out. Then we'd have to go out and play. I really didn't like the choices that she made back then, but she made the right choices. Smart lady. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Everything's different now. Ashmead, the invention of the cell phone is the downfall of society? Nah. Cell phones, like smartphones, are crazy, right? They're fucking supercomputers. You can watch movies on them. Like, I could literally broadcast one of these streams from them. Smartphones are insane, and all the crazy social media that just keep you ensnared in a non-stop dopamine, like slap thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, scrolling through doom scrolling or awe scrolling, where you're just, whoa, look at that, whoa, look at that, whoa, look at that, whoa, brought a tear to my eye. It's crazy. That stuff is crazy. And you just get hooked into using it without thinking about it. You'll be scrolling through something like that, and then you go, I'm wasting my time scrolling through this. And you'll close it, and then if you're not paying attention, you'll pretty much, your brain will look for something to do. It'll open it right back up. I've caught myself doing that multiple times, where I was like, what the hell? I deleted Twitter off my phone. I was like, nope, gone. It's not on my phone anymore. I try not to spend nearly as much time on my phone as I used to, right? Like, in mindless things. I'm not interested in mindless things where I passively watch like little flashes of existence. I don't like that. I don't feel like I gain anything from it. It doesn't feel very memorable. It doesn't seem to have any kind of impact on my life. It's like potato chips. You're like, yay for potato chips, but you're not really getting nothing from it. Nothing good, at least. I don't know. I know that in some ways I'm like a fucking old fuddy-duddy who likes, I like longer content. You know what I mean? Like I don't watch 30-second things a lot of the time, or like 2-minute things. I tend to like, yo, give me 15, give me 20 minutes, give me half an hour, give me an hour, give me an hour and a half, give me 2 hours. Then after that, it starts to cap out, where I'm just like, there's a certain limit where it's like, I'm not interested in a fucking 5-hour video. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in a movie that goes on over long. Although a good movie, 3 hours, if it's really good and it's not a bunch of extra crap crammed in, sure. But yeah, the real small form content isn't for me. David, you stopped watching TikTok because it's too addicting. Yep, I get that, man. Like, there's so many, like, everything's trying to do. You scroll through Facebook to see what's up with your friends and, like, check out these little shorts we have. And it's like, why? Why isn't this in the middle of my thing? Because we want to be like TikTok, right? And YouTube's like, make shorts. And I'm just like, oh. I mean, Carly's made the argument. It's like, you can entertain people, by making shorts. You can just make little jokes and they'll have a fun time. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. In some ways, maybe I'm being ridiculous. So, I don't know, though. Because it's stuff that I don't really watch myself most of the time, I feel like not drawn to it at this point. I suppose I shouldn't rule out anything in terms of wanting to entertain people. That is my end goal, right? But Gianna, you broke your ankles and legs while in active duty and you've been a terrible runner ever since. Well, I mean, yeah, breaking some limbs sounds about right. Fisher, social media's devolved into basically a drug at this point. I mean, it genuinely feels addictive. And it alternatively makes people feel like extreme emotions on the positive scale, but also makes them feel really bad about themselves. They compare themselves to these moments that people are showing on the internet, and then the sacrifices that other people make to have these moments. I'm going to starve myself so that I look really hot in this picture I take of myself in Dubai to put on my Instagram. And then like talking about that process in the video, like that's something to be, or like the, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's still a video, even if it's only fucking 4 seconds on Instagram or whatever. A story. I don't know. I can't keep track of all the different driblets and drablets of techno nonsense. But it's just, like back in the day, they used to talk about, the women in magazines and stuff like that, giving unrealistic body expectations. But like, social media has advanced the problem to the point where now it's giving people fucking like life image problems, right? Where everybody thinks you're supposed to be fucking rich and living in some gigantic, beautiful fucking White House, and you're supposed to have like a huge fucking fan base of people who watch you, whatever you do, and everybody's supposed to care about what you think and say. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. So people end up feeling dejected and depressed because they're not living this life that like fucking nobody is living. It's like if in the past everybody got depressed because they couldn't be in the fucking NBA or something. It's like, what? But that's not the best way to describe it. But it's similar, where you wouldn't. Why would you think that you'd be in the fucking NBA? It's because people just see what looks like no talent nobodies fucking talking about whatever, and just like, look, that guy's just talking about how he went to the beach and 10 million people watched it. So people will watch me. I went to the beach. Why aren't they watching me? You know? It's crazy. David, ditching social media has made your life better. YouTube and passive consumption like this is all you use anymore. I will use, like, I watch stuff on YouTube all the time. I watch movies and I watch TV shows online and stuff, but I don't spend my time watching TikToks. I don't watch the short form videos, any of that kind of stuff. Once in a blue moon, I click on like one out of idle curiosity, or it just gets shown to me somehow when I'm looking at a profile or something. But they're they're meaningless. They're meaningless. Daniel Shelley, you're sending me a funny Photoshop of my before pic. All right. Ashmead, yeah, there's a lot of people thinking they're the center of the universe. It's true. It's kind of crazy to me. It's kind of nuts. I didn't start out a YouTube channel thinking that people would come and watch what I do. I started a YouTube channel specifically to talk to people that I knew. That's who it was for. I only had like 20 people who watched my stuff at all, and they were all people that I knew, and that was what it was about. And then the internet found my Hatcher channel, and thousands of people showed up and started commenting and all that, and I just went, I didn't want any of this. I didn't sign up for dealing with these people. I don't want this, and I fucking deleted it all. I got rid of everything. I was just like, nope, go, get out of here. And then I was making magic videos for the guys at the game store. And then the same fucking thing happened on this channel where a whole bunch of people showed up. And I was just like, oh no, now I gotta get rid of this too, right? Like, and I want to be clear, when it comes to all these people coming by, it wasn't like there was a bunch of people being dickheads to me and I couldn't handle it. It was just this isn't for the public. Like, I put this up on YouTube for my friends to see, but in no chance on earth did I think that a bunch of people from outside of that were going to come in. None of you were invited. What is this? I don't want this, right? And I recognize that that's kind of hilarious behavior for me, considering how much I always wanted to be an entertainer. But like, there I am deleting all the shit when people show up. So with this one, I don't know exactly what possessed me 100% to give it a chance. I know I looked through the comments and was like, everybody seems chill. I mean, they're here talking about magic. I like talking about magic. I'm like, I don't have to do what I did on the other channel automatically, right? Like, it was the second time it happened to me. So maybe that's why I didn't find it as jarring. Do you know what I mean? Like, so maybe, like, I don't know exactly why I didn't wipe everything out 100%. But I'm glad that I didn't, because I always wanted to be an entertainer, always wanted to be a comedian, but I pushed that desire down because where I am in the world, there was no feasible path for it being an actual fucking like job for me. I didn't believe that would be the case because I didn't believe in myself in that regard. Even though I made people laugh wherever the fuck I went and people told me I should be one, I still didn't believe enough in myself. So that, on top of the fact that it wouldn't be economically viable, made me push that dream down. And then once I started making videos for people that weren't just my local friends or whatever, then that tapped more into the, yo, this is what you've always wanted to do, so let's fucking go. Let's do it. And I started making tons of videos and doing live streams, and it's never fucking stopped. And I never want it to stop, right? I went from a guy who didn't care if the smoke detector had batteries in it to a guy who's like, yo, I've got a nice life, I've got an awesome wife, and I got a bunch of friends that I've made doing this. This is what I want to keep doing. It's the best. It's fucking awesome, right? So in some shape or form, I got to always be doing this until I just can't anymore. Every day's membership message says, today everyone has a chance to become famous with the most unusual things. Thanks for being our para-friend. Now please give me the insult I deserve. Bro, I don't like that parasocial shit. Here's how I view the parasocial concept. I accept that term would apply to people who have only ever watched me and have never interacted with me at all in any way, shape, or form. If you want to define it like that, that's fine. But like, I don't like, parasocial is like, it's like a one-way relationship where the other person doesn't even know you exist. I know you guys exist, okay? And when somebody doesn't show up for a while, I genuinely worry about them. And I've learned over time to just like assume the best and go, They're probably not dead. They're fine. They're out enjoying life. Either they're doing something else and not watching YouTube, or they just don't like your content anymore. Whatever it is, it's not that they're dead. They're fine out in the world. It's all good. That kind of thing, right? So, like, when I see people who I know are cool people, they came by the streams before, and now I know they don't like me, and I see them talking about it in other videos, it feels bad. It feels bad because I give a shit. It's like, we talk about what's going on in life and stuff in here. These streams aren't just like, let me present to you. It's a back and forth. It's interaction. So I don't consider that to be like a parasocial setup. I can't fucking force other people to think the way that I do, but I know how I feel internally. So I don't like it because it devalues what I feel like is going on. I think of you guys as like, you guys are like my fucking friends, my stream friends and shit. All like for real, right? So I don't like things that reduce that. You fucking kangaroo sucking douchebag. There's your insult. David, you respect the fact that people like me will say things that other people might not want to hear about their favorite card games. I'm just talking about what's going on, man, and hoping for improvement, right? So, it is what it is. Jess, yeah, you're right. It is fun to be here. You only miss a stream if you're playing Magic. That's a good reason to miss a stream, bro. Jenna says, don't worry, if we die, we'll let you know. All right. All right. See, I don't know, man. I'm a pretty friendly guy overall, and I feel like I'm pretty welcoming to people who want to come in and be a part of what's going on. And when I meet people in person and they know who I am, I'm always like, hey, how's it going? Fucking nice and friendly, because it's like, that's cool, man. That's cool. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, the parasocial stuff does exist. I feel like it was more of a thing for like people thinking that with TV stars and stuff like that, where they literally couldn't interact. With these, you can like at least leave comments and get comments back on videos and stuff. So there's varying levels, and there are people who genuinely don't care about their fans at all. Like they literally just look at them as like, who fucking cares? I've never socialized with you. I like. There's some people who have literally gone on their streams and whatever and talked about it. It's like, I don't want you to identify with me. I'm better than you, and all this like shit, and not as jokes, for real. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. I don't know. Everybody's got different goals, and they operate differently. They're wired differently, whatever it is, man. But like wherever I go, I'm always cracking jokes and entertaining people. Just it like doesn't matter. Are we at like the fucking convenience store? Are we at a fast food restaurant? Like wherever it is, that's what I end up doing. That's how I am. So I don't know, man. I don't know. The whole technology thing is weird. I get it. It's not like when you meet people in person. It's not the same thing, right? David, you got cable television for the first time a few months ago? There's so many ads, bro. There's so many ads. Like 6 minutes of ads. The shows are sped up. They speed the fucking shows up so they can cram more ads in. You watch CSI and you're just like, they're walking like, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, am I tripping right now, bro? Gianna, I do remember the Hot Tub Time Machine movie, but I don't remember that part of it. The TV commercials are insane. There's this stuff like, I use Omega XL, and it's just like, we harvest it from clams from Australia or something. And she's just like, I can run again. And it's just this old little troll lady stumping along. And it's like, what a scam this is. Commercials are 1/3 of the runtime of shows. It's too much, man. YouTube only puts a couple of fucking seconds of ads in there. And then boom, you're done. Like, TV is out of their minds. We watched it when we were in the falls We were in the falls watching, it might have been American television stations coming in because we're right at the border, right? When you're at the falls. So the ads were insane. Maz make an OnlyFan called Only Perps. Jess, you haven't had cable since 2016? Yeah, I don't know like how I haven't had cable in forever. The internet opened up a whole new realm of entertainment for me, and cable TV and cable internet together were always too expensive for me to get anyway. So I just opted for the internet. Oh, speaking of watching things, man, I'm thinking about maybe checking out the Sharknado movies. I haven't watched any of them, but I saw a video talking about them today, and they seem like they just go progressively crazier, and it's like so over the top and stupid. But I don't know if it's going to be intolerable. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's time for me to get going. Thanks for coming and hanging out, my friends. We will get back together again soon. The waters, they called to me for now.